Hey everybody, it's Norm and Will back for another episode of Behind the Garage Door. Today, we're going to head over to Dade City, meet up with a Stingray customer, and talk about his cool cars. So when I met Keith a couple of weeks ago, he was mentioning after the first of the year, he's going to think about buying a Corvette. So I figured we would put this in his driveway and tempt him. All right, we made it out to Keith's out here in Dade City, and Keith, you, I think, if I'm thinking back right, over the course of all the Behind the Garage Doors, I think this might be the newest garage door that we're going to be opening up. So I'm really excited. Keith and I met at the dealership. You bought a new Suburban from us not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, and had the opportunity to meet Keith. He told me about his cars. Could not wait to get out here to Dade City and see what is behind Keith's garage door. All right, so literally brand new construction here, and this is not the end of what you're doing with this garage.
Oh no, this is probably 2 months it's been here. There are two racks, lifts that'll go over in this area where the Corvettes. And,
oh, so you're gonna have lifts and everything out here?
Yeah, we're gonna stack some cars. The footers are already in. It'll be a composite floor, an epoxy floor will be done in here.
And this place is gonna be cool.
And we've already, with the design, there's going to be an additional because
already ran out of room.
We need more room.
All right, well, let's get started. First car on the list, I'm seeing a 1968 convertible Corvette. Tell me all about this red beauty.
So we ran into that at Quaker Steak in Clearwater. They have a car show there. We ran into that there. There was a vet, and his injuries from years ago, he's a Vietnam vet.
A veteran, okay, all right.
Was preventing him from driving a stick shift.
Okay.
So when we picked it up, it had a 350 in it, and the road side pipes on it. I had already bought a 427 tri-power and wanted something to put it in, so we pulled a 350 out of it and we put it on the market, sold it, and it has a tri-power in it. A 427 tri-power, the 400, pushing with the roller cam that we put in it, and 11.5 to 1 compression ratio pistons, about 510 brake.
Oh, I love that.
So it's a beast.
There's nothing, and it's still 4-speed?
Yes.
So big block, tri-power, 4-speed, side pipes. Ugh.
It'll talk.
That is just cool. So now, how long? When was this? When did you buy this car?
Probably 2.5 years.
Okay.
You know, we're full with it. We touched a lot. All the suspension, everything underneath.
So everything underneath's been done too?
Yeah.
So not only the engine and everything that you did. Suspension and. Was it already painted and everything else when you already had?
That's not the show paint yet.
Oh, okay.
Still a work in process.
Yep.
So there will be a show paint job on it before we're done with it.
How often do you get it out?
Oh, every week.
Do you?
Oh yeah, all of them. They've all been out this week. You know.
Oh, that's good. And it's kind of, especially with the side pipes and everything else, I bet when you pull out of here right now, everything gets all dusty and stuff.
I can't sneak home. It rattles the windows in there.
Good,
so,
good.
With any of them, except for the new car.
That's, yeah. A Keith Suburban that he just bought at the dealership just a couple weeks ago. Beautiful. I love those Suburbans.
The story behind the Suburban, why I wanted the room, I had a Traverse company car. I retired in December, and I wanted the room, but I wanted to be able to tow. So I wanted to pull a hauler, and that'll pull whatever I want.
That will absolutely
do that. Has a 6.1 in it.
So you're not sneaking in and out from the wife anywhere else?
No.
I like, and I'm not mad at any time that you find an older car that already isn't numbers matching, has stuff wrong with it, and you add like the L88 hood and the side pipes and everything else. That is a really slick.
The hood was with the car.
Was it?
The 427 tri-power that's in it is out of a 69 all matching numbers, so it's period correct, except for the side pipes.
What happened to the?
We couldn't find it.
Oh.
We found the motor before we found the car, and we couldn't find it.
I got you. That's too bad. That's too bad, but good for you.
Yeah. We looked for it.
You look for it. You try to put it all back together, but sometimes they just get lost and separated from each other. Really cool car. Okay, we move back further here in your garage, Keith, and we move to the 66 Chevelle, which I got to be honest with you, I love immediately the look of this car. The steelies and dogs, the stance. Tell me about the 66 Chevelle.
Well, it's connected somewhat to the 68 Corvette. So when we bought the motor, I say we because my neighbor, Craig Malley, is a good friend of mine, and he's the brains behind all the motors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, anyway.
There's nothing wrong with having a builder.
We bought the Tri-Power from a guy down in Clearwater that's in the 68, and he had this in his garage. And
the guy you bought the engine from?
Yes.
Okay.
We fell in love with it, and I fell in love with it, and about a year later I bought this from him. It's pristine. I mean, there's not a wrinkle on it. It's got a stroker in it. It's a sleeper.
Okay.
So that's how I came by it.
You know, honestly, when you walk up on it, with the way it presents, it could be a 6-cylinder.
Yeah.
That could be a straight 6 Power Glide car.
Yeah.
I love the fact that it looks like it could be anything, and it's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
I actually bought it to flip, but
oh no.
Yeah, I just fell in love with it. That's the problem I got with it. That's why I'm putting the racks in. I can't sell anything. One day, maybe I will.
What color is that?
I don't know. It's like a light blue.
I didn't know if it was a factory color. Or
no,
not.
I don't know.
I like the contrast between the color and the dash and the interior color
Matches
too.
the interior.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
4-speed automatic?
It's automatic on the column. It's a sleeper.
That is
It's
a
a
true
sleeper.
sleeper. I mean, I'm serious, you guys. When you look at this car, I mean, even the license plate says real sleeper. That is so slick. How much power is a 383 stroker?
It's a stroker.
Okay.
It's somewhere around 450.
Yeah.
Right in there is what Bob, the man to build it.
Yeah.
He took the motor. That stroker came out of his son's open wheel modified that he was racing. He did change the cam.
I hope so.
It doesn't have quite as much of a thump as it used to. So.
Well, just enough thump to grab your attention for
yeah,
sure.
when you crank it, it'll.
You know, I like
turns ahead.
I like to typically on a classic car like this, I'm not a fan of tinted windows, but those look really good. It sits so nice. And when did you buy this one?
Probably 3 years ago.
Okay.
Right after we got the 68, so 3 years ago, something like that.
What other is this kind of a new hobby for you, or have you always been into classic cars?
Well,
muscle cars?
I've always had 57 Chevy, then a 68 when I was growing up, a 68 Chevelle. That's the third car. The one we're going to talk about next is the third car I ever owned. So it's always been muscle cars. I've always been around it. I got friends that race. So I retired, and I do play a lot of golf. I hunt some, and now I play with cars. So I'm really busy.
Winner. Yeah. Keith, you win.
Well, 48 years of saving up so I could buy these things.
Absolutely. You know what? Speaking of the first cars, let's move on to the next one and talk about it.
Okay.
So this car, Keith, has a really good story.
It does.
So 73 Corvette convertible. Tell me all about this one.
So this car I bought new in Maryland when I was 20 years old. And
I don't want to age you. How old are you now?
71.
Okay.
So I've had it for a while.
This is your constant.
Yes.
This car is your ride or die.
Yes, sir. This won't. I might be buried in it. But, I kept it. It's always been garaged. It did sit in the garage for a while. My daughters were riding hunter jumpers, and everybody knows that horses are more expensive than cars even.
You got to feed them.
So it sat for a long time, but I said, it's not going anywhere. One day this thing's going to come back to life. So when Craig and I got to know each other next door, my friend next door, we decided to, look at it. Mm-hmm. So we didn't have to touch much. We didn't touch hardly anything on the suspension because it had been, garaged. Mm-hmm. I did take, at 20 years old, my dad allowed me to get a 350 in it with 190 horsepower. And I still have that motor, and the motor in now is a stroker at 436 horsepower. So it's got some power to it too. That's the color I ordered when I was 20 years old. I don't know why. I love it. That is a show quality paint job.
What's the name of the color? What's the name of the color?
It's a British racing green is what they called it at the time.
I didn't even know that they did that on
I ordered
Corvettes.
it that long ago.
Wow, and the white top.
Yeah. Well, I had the painter down in St. Pete. He painted it for me.
Okay,
And,
but it was originally this color, and you repainted it the same color.
Exactly the same color.
Love
And the
it.
bumper, he said it took him 10 hours to get the bumper to fit.
Those bumpers are a pain in the butt.
That is a fiberglass bumper on there now
Yeah.
instead of the composite. Or
My,
whatever it was.
I still have my 79 Z28 I bought in high school, and the nose on
you
that
really?
one, the nose on that
for
one
you.
was such a pain in the butt too. But it's not the original urethane or whatever. I think
Yeah, they.
It's more of a plastic one that they repop that I have it on. A little bit easier to deal with, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Those rubber bumpers are a pain.
So this car it will never leave the family, I hope.
I love it.
Yeah, I do too.
I was talking to, hate to keep bringing up my own cars. You say that about your daughter. I was considering selling my Camaro not long ago, and I mentioned it in front of my daughter, and she was like, whoa, whoa, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, do you want it? She's like, well, I kind of thought it was like an heirloom. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm keeping the Camaro. But so you've had this thing since 1971, and by the way, 73, Kragers.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But it's old school.
I love a buddy of mine and I at work, Aaron. Kragers on everything. Yeah. Kragers on everything. Yeah. You cannot go wrong with Kragers on anything. So this is fantastic. So anything to the interior, or everything just pretty much as you had it in 73?
Yeah, top's new. The interior is the same as it was when I bought it.
Is it really?
And it's pristine. It's been kept, inside. So
yeah,
its whole life. It's never been outside.
How many times have you moved with this car?
About 4.
Yeah. Explain 3-putt.
Oh, I play a lot of golf, so it's just a pun.
I love it.
On there. So I do. I'm a member at Lake Javita, and I play quite a bit of golf. I played in school, so I've been golfing for a long time.
So actually, I apologize. When we did walk in to your garage here, I love these mid-late 90s trucks, Chevy trucks anyways, but the dually is it. Cal Hood.
Yeah, well, I did add that.
Yeah, tell me about you've had this how many hundreds of thousands of miles?
Okay. I bought it new. It's got 120 on it. Like I said, the girls are showing horses, so we pulled a horse trailer with it. It's got a 454 in it.
Big block.
I just like it. It's not leaving. I don't need it, but I don't need any of this, but I'm keeping it.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
You need all this. So the dually is semi-retired. Suburban's taken over.
That Suburban, I mean, go to Stingray Chevrolet, get you a new Suburban, but you want to do something for your health, because that thing is great.
Thanks for the plug. Yeah. Appreciate that. I love this dually. You bought this brand new, put all the miles on it, been everywhere in it.
Yeah.
What's the furthest you've gone with a trailer in this thing?
Virginia.
Oh, wow.
Hauling horses to Virginia, to Kentucky, to Oklahoma.
Did it ever stammer on you, or just pull it every time?
No. Oh, no.
How many horses in the trailer?
There were 3 at one time. It would be a fifth wheel with a dressing room in the front and a three horse slant. So I'm pulling about 11,000 pounds, and it would go. It wouldn't even. The only thing that would move would be the gas gauge when we got in the mountains. Yeah, it would never.
Plus
stop.
everybody in the truck, plus gear, plus everything else.
Yeah, the kids and stuff, and we'd have dogs that would come with us. And,
all right, you can't not include the dually. So 68 Vet, 73 Vet, 66 Chevelle, 24 Suburban, 1998 badass dually. So far. Yeah. We're going to keep that. And this wall's coming down.
No, the wall stay there.
Wall staying here.
On another room.
Going on. Oh, that's right, because that other room's going to be a man cave.
Yeah.
Keith knows what's up. Keith, thank you so much.
Hey, you know what? Come back.
Oh, yes.
When this thing's finished, there'll be more stuff there. There'll be a rack. Come back and visit.
You let us know.
I'm going to
maybe add a car.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have a car next year.
We're going to head back to the dealership and wrap it up. All right, Keith, thank you so much for A, being a customer at Stingray Chevrolet, B, for inviting us out to your beautiful piece of property out there in Dade City and sharing both your Corvettes and that kick-ass 66 Chevelle. If you've got a friend that has a cool car or several cool cars, or you yourself have a neat car that you want to share your story with, by all means, reach out to us. Maybe you will be on the next episode of Behind the Garage Door.
Stingray Chevrolet, relax, enjoy the difference.